Bishop Edward Rice, Bishop Robert Herman, Monsignor Rivatuso, Father Douglas Marcouillet, Provincial of the Missouri Province of the Society of Jesus, priest brothers from the Society of Jesus who are present here, and the scholastics, my brother priests and deacons, members of the religious communities, especially the religious sisters who are here in such a good number, knights and ladies, knights and dames, people of the Archdiocese of St. Louis, and I left somebody out, you're welcome too. We gather this evening in the Cathedral Basilica to give thanks for the blessing of a new Holy Father, Pope Francis. In a special way, I congratulate the members of the Society of Jesus on the election of their Jesuit brother to be Pope, and in all people across the Americas on the election of the first Pope from New World. In the Gospel this evening, we have that beautiful dialogue between Jesus and the first leader of the church, St. Peter. 3 times, Jesus asks him, "Do you love me?" And Peter answers each time. But on the occasion of the last time, he says, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." And Jesus says to him, "Feed my sheep." This is an amazing piece of scripture. Despite Peter's 3 denials during the Lord's Passion, Christ confers on Peter the primacy that he had promised earlier. Many commentators on this passage see the threefold questioning of Peter as his chance to atone for his triple denial. Aware of his weakness, Peter, is deeply convinced that the rash claims he has made are pointless. Instead, he puts everything in Christ's hands. "Lord, you know well that I love you." Now we give thanks for a new Holy Father who began his ministry by saying, "I thank the Lord that I can celebrate this Holy Mass for the inauguration of my Petrine ministry on the solemnity of St. Joseph, the spouse of the Virgin Mary, and the patron of the Universal Church." Much has already been made of his obvious simplicity, his love for the poor, and of all things, his worn-out black shoes. Yesterday, I even received a text from someone who said, "The shoes are black, not red." I wrote back and said, "I'm glad you noticed." But as I have read about this new Holy Father, I think far more important than black shoes or brown shoes or red shoes, I think his words at the beginning of Lent to the people of Argentina give us a better measure of this new Holy Father. He said, "Little by little, we get used to hearing and seeing through the media the black chronicle of contemporary society, presented almost with perverse enjoyment. And we also get used to touching it and hearing it around us and in our own flesh. The drama is in the street, in the neighborhood, in our home, and why not in our heart? The suffering of the innocent and peaceful never ceases to hit us. Contempt for the rights of the most fragile persons and peoples are not foreign to us. The dominance of money with its demonic effects, such as drugs and corruption, the trafficking of persons, including children, together with material and moral misery, are the common currency of the day. And this shepherd, after the mind of Christ, went on to say clearly, and our errors and sins as church are also not absent. My life as a Catholic dates back to Pope Pius XII, and then to John the 23rd, and Paul VI, John Paul I, Blessed John Paul II, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, and now Francis. Each one in his own way, through the inspiration and blessing of the Holy Spirit, has given a special gift to the Church. Shepherds who showed us the way after the mind of Christ. As we heard in the first reading, as a shepherd tends his flock, when he finds himself among his scattered sheep, so will I tend my sheep. And it's this scattered flock around the world that Francis has now been asked to shepherd. Think about it. From John the 23rd, we have the gift of the Ecumenical Council. And Blessed John Paul II, missionary journeys and his travels around the world and his outreach to youth. Benedict XVI, who taught us well and helped us to better understand Vatican II some 50 years later. Paul VI, who deepened our awareness of the sacrament of marriage and the beautiful relationship between husband and wife. And Pius XII, who guided the Church through a world war, helping to save lives where he could. And John Paul I. His reign was short, but he simply loved us and warmed our hearts with his smile. Cardinal Bergoglio, now Francis, will chart his own course and encourage us to undertake the paschal journey of truth, a journey that takes us always to the foot of the cross and invites us to walk the path of holiness. This is a challenge. This is something that must be deep within us. And he calls us, like all the others, to conversion and to change, inviting us to open ourselves, really open ourselves to the new evangelization, to open ourselves to the mission, to proclaim the gospel, not just by what we say, but more importantly, by the way we live. And as he said to all of us in his homily at the inauguration Mass, words which we should never forget. My brothers and sisters, live with fidelity.